It's all good, baby, baby.
Shake it, shake it.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine.
I was in a meeting with Andre Harrell. Andre said, Puffy wanted to talk to you before you leave. I said, cool. So I saw Puff, and Puff said, yo, Tunes, I want you to meet my artist, a cat named Biggie. Biggie came in. It was beautiful. And then Puff said, man, I want to sample Juicy Fruit. Me and Puff knocked out a page and a half, it was done. I said, you get $1, I get 50 cents. And he was straight up. I had planned on writing 3 songs, but from a female perspective. Because I've always felt women are very sensual and way more sensitive than men are on certain subjects. You know very well what you are. You're my sugar thing, my chocolate star. I mean, women are more imaginative, you know. I finished the Juicy Fruit album, but I just felt there was one more track missing. I didn't know what it was. So I'm in the room, nobody's there but me and the engineer. And I see this drum machine. I told him to hook it up. And I start messing around. Doom, dooka dookie goom, cat, doom, dicka dookie goom, goom, cat. I said, interesting. We'd finished our session that night. It might have been about 1 in the morning. I called everybody, I said, get back here. I think I found something. I called Tawatha. She's on tour in Europe with Roxy Music, it's a big, pop band. I flew her back the night that she got back. I'm writing the lyrics and she's finishing up the verse. Sometimes I like that kind of pressure. She laid it out, we finished it that night. She got back on the plane the next morning, and that was Juicy Fruit. When I brought Juicy Fruit up to Sony when we had finished it, the album, their first response was, we can't release this. It's too risque. I mean, we have that one line in there, you can lick me everywhere. I mean, today that's like a nursery rhyme, but back then they were scared of that. But more importantly, they said it was too slow. Back then, music industry was so stupid. They were doing, making records beats per minute. Certain records had to have a certain amount of beats per minute to qualify as a hit. I said, man, look, I don't write from my head, I write from my heart. I told them, I said, don't none of y'all buy no records up here. I said, let's put it out. Let's hear what the people say. Within 1 week, Epic was being flooded with calls from program directors all around the country. They let me sit in on one of the conference calls, and the program director said, I've been in this business 30 years. It's the first time I've ever heard people calling up, describing a record by its beat. That before you hear a word, before you hear a lyric, before you hear a chord, that beat. And so Epic was forced to release it.
Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. The Moet and Alizé keep me pissy. Girls used to diss me, now they write letters cause they miss me. I never thought it could happen, this rapping stuff. I was too used to packing gats and stuff. Now honey's playing
about Juicy is that after Biggie did it, it translated to a whole nother generation. And since Biggie, the song has become almost like a sample staple. I also love the Keisha Cole version, her and Missy, Let It Go. Sampling became a tool for creation way after my period. When I'm coming through, when a record is over, it's over. Look, if you're lucky, you go into the oldies but goodies bin. But because of sampling, Juicy's been able to have 2 or 3 lifetimes, and it's not the trunk of my tree, but it's definitely one of the largest branches.
Ample Samples answers your questions about music clearance, samples, and songs.